Okay, now you're good.
Okay,
Thanks,
call the
Veronica.
meeting to order. Start with the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. We're going to call a special meeting to make changes necessary for a tentative budget and move it to the preliminary budget. I need to make a motion to go into executive session, discuss salaries and personnel
Okay.
matters.
I'll second the motion.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
So I'm gonna turn off the audio while you guys are out.
Okay.
we're back
Put it
on.
back on.
A motion.
I guess.
Okay, yes, we'll make a motion to end the executive session and reopen
Make a motion that we end executive session and reopen the meeting.
I'll second it. Like, no change, you could. I'll second.
the, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, let's see, what's next? Yeah.
Are there any other budget items to address or change? You talked about, you already got the Pompey Hill Fire Department. in
The
there?
Hill Fire Department received their budget request, which was pretty much in line with what we had for 24. So let me get to that real
I
quick.
tried reading through there, and I was, the more I tried reading that paperwork, they gave us more confused I got.
Yeah. I think I interpreted it right.
I see.
560,572 versus 559, 572. So that's what we went with. You know, if they need to clarify something, we can obviously make a change between now and the time the budget's adopted in a couple of weeks here.
And that's all just taxed and.
Exactly. So whatever they request, we levy as tax.
So it's not something.
Correct. The only, in terms of fire protection and public safety stuff, Delphi Falls ambulance, I still have not heard. I know we got a kind of general, it's not going to be much of an increase at all from KVAC, yeah. So we have budgeted $21,000, which is a little bit of an increase from 24. I guess that's what we're going with.
I
for
just
now
didn't know
until
if
we-
something was gonna change, because now they're under the Madison County umbrella. I didn't know
I
if something
would-
was going to change.
What would change is the likelihood that they'll not increase or
Mhm.
leave
So-
the same or even decrease because
Yeah.
their finances have been approved by that.
We will need a
Mhm.
concrete number though from them because that,
I asked them for it.
that gets levied.
I'll ask again.
Okay.
If you need me to call Rick Makita, let me know. Put a fire under them.
All right, oh, and then the budget item for law enforcement. I know that we originally decreased that number because we haven't been using it.
Correct.
My question is, what if things change and they actually get people that actually want to come out here and help? By decreasing it, are we cutting our
Yeah.
row?
Well, as far as my discussion with Marty in charge of the sheriffs, that's nowhere in sight.
It's sad.
That's really sad considering what we have going on in our neighborhood right now.
It's craziness.
It's
yeah.
everywhere, it's
Is
everywhere.
that,
Oh, yeah, we have buses that are getting passed on the reds by cars. We got speeders through the school zones.
you
We,
just can't-
Well, I've been seeing a lot more cops than I was a month or two ago. I've been seeing sheriff cars all over the place. So I thought that they had just automatically, maybe it's the schools, I don't know, maybe I'm just running into
We're
it
after
more.
you.
Not yet, but.
I just know that we.
I've been seeing them.
We decreased that
I'd
line
slow
item
down.
because we haven't been using it. I didn't know. if
That-
we
according-
should just leave that or.
I don't think you increase.
What's the last month's bill, like $1,300 or something like that? I don't know, we just came in, it
Yeah,
was.
it's less than 1,500. It's 13 and change. Just saw the other.
What's the total annual? 16, 17, man.
We budgeted for 13,000 so far, we budgeted 23,500 for,
Yeah, and even 1,500 a month.
That's extra enforcement that you can't get. I mean, he pretty much laughed at me. Last time I saw.
What do we have in there right now?
Marty, the
13.
guy who arranges that's in charge of
And
scheduling.
We've spent how much this?
Or the other.
I don't know what last month's was, but through August, we've spent.
Marty Nervous. is his name.
7?
So we're not even getting.
And
billed
what
the
did we spend, do
1,500
we
a
know what we
month.
spent the year before?
I don't have that.
That guy.
Just like I said, don't want to cut it. If we're not going to use it, we're not going to use it, but just. don't wanna cut it.
Yeah, that's
So what do we,
15.
what did we propose down to?
13 grand from 23,500, which was 24's budget.
What do you guys think?
Wait, this year, we're going to spend 13?
No,
so
we've
we-
only spent 70, son.
7 through the end of
Yeah,
August.
so there's no reason.
Oh,
We're probably
Certainly no reason to make it more.
10. So he figures 10 by the end of the year.
No, 10 by now, I would think.
Yeah, so I think we should-
$1,500
13's
for
fine.
things.
I think you need to. Just not gonna happen.
Didn't it? Let's go with it then.
That's all I can think of. You guys got anything else?
Jim, do we have any that we haven't covered?
Um,
Are we discussing the allotment with the truck and?
so, real quick on ARPA, I just wanna, go through what we have planned. So we have in the general fund. We have 38,525 currently budgeted. This is fluid, obviously. We can move this around. And that's to be used for the, those heaters in the garage. Okay,
Because I submitted, remember when we spoke, I submitted a quote to put that in 2025's budget. And that was $30,000.
okay.
Last meeting, it was brought up, that the board wanted to spend ARPA money to get that done. So if that's being the case, then that 30,000 should come out of the budget for 2025.
You mean add it back?
Well, we're
No, take it out.
we're going to use the
Take the expenditure. out.
30-ish grand of ARPA money in
Yeah.
2025 to buy the heaters.
Right.
Correct.
So it comes out of the
But-
25 budget.
It does, but I also submitted a quote to you that you put it in for the budget 2025.
So,
So I think that was added in
It's like
there
you double
somewhere.
dipping.
I think it's
Right.
double.
Double dipping.
accounting for it,
right,
Yes,
so we don't need to.
correct.
so
Thanks
he,
for pointing that
yeah,
out.
he put it in his budget to spend 30,000.
You put it on your.
It should be in the highway. budget.
Highway.
Not in the highway.
It should be in the general fund then.
It's in the general fund.
Okay.
It's in the general fund at 38,000 and we're gonna say we're using ARPA funds for that.
It wasn't 30,000, 30.
Right. I think when we drafted it, that's,
How much money do we
Get
spend
higher
on
when we
it?
actually do it or?
Thursday, I,
No, because I had a quote for 1.5, but we figured higher.
Okay.
middle of the page.
yeah, so this. Okay, so and then my notes from the last meeting, you have a highway garage heaters for 23,009.
Very well could be.
Okay, so like I said, it doesn't really matter how, like, we have a plan for how the ARPA is
Right.
going to be spent. I need to refine this and it's still fluid, right? Between now and the end of the year, we just have to, commit it.
Yeah,
So right now it's standing at 38,000 and change in the general fund and $200,000 even in the highway fund to go towards the purchase of the tractor with the long arm mower.
And were you gonna mention the gazebo?
yeah,
It's a mower and a brush thing, right?
It's a
Sidearm.
tractor with a long arm mower attachment with a flail mower on the end.
Pretty cool.
And a
What
broom
are
on the
those things?
And a broom on the, so it's got both.
That was the 195.
Sweet. So it's got both broom and. the-
So I'm gonna clean this up so that we have 195.5 for the long arm mower that's gonna be paid for out of the highway fund, funded by ARPA. 23,900 for the garage heaters, paid out of the general fund, funded by ARPA. And that leaves $19,125.95 for the gazebo.
so on the gazebo.
Yeah.
I've been getting a lot of phone calls and discussions
Of
about
course
the
you are.
gazebo. I don't know why it's such a hot topic. but
Because it is, because nobody ever wants to beautify anything in this town.
Apparently,
Don't
apparently.
care.
The one question we had at the last meeting was, do we own the land? And do we really want to put it on land that we don't own? And second is,
No.
where's the park?
No, yes,
Okay,
there's the answer.
okay. If we didn't do the gazebo, just throwing it out there. I saw the 55,000 that John Shaheen, 50 grand, he's gonna get the grant for.
Yes.
To do the work over there. Do you think it's a better expenditure of money to use the 18 grand for a gazebo and fix the roof? Because people are concerned about the roof.
You heard
This
about the
roof.
roof too? I also heard about the roof.
Yeah,
Yeah,
about the roof is old.
yeah,
This room.
No,
No, the garage.
his
roof.
garage roof.
no, this roof.
This roof.
Yeah, this room.
Okay, this roof.
This roof is original to the building,
How old is that?
90, 94.
Seriously?
30 years old, 25, 30 years.
So maybe
Most,
these
our-
were
most,
probably
just a
fif-
rubber roof?
No, it's asphalt, but I would almost bet that these are like 50-year shingles on here.
Okay.
But that's a good point, and that's fine, because I will get a contractor in here to take a look at this to see what they think about it.
Just, yeah, great. Maybe we
It Seems a
can,
little more practical.
That's not a problem.
And then you can
Um,
keep up with it.
That's not a problem.
Nobody wants to beat a
I
fire.
I mean, I think it looks great too, but I have heard the same.
Yeah.
pushback that-
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I heard the same
Yeah,
exact.
but the funny
pushback.
thing is, until you do it and get it done, you get past that, people would appreciate
Oh, yeah,
it.
yeah.
That's the thing.
yeah.
But you know what? Because it's giving me incentive to go out and raise some money and do this on my own.
It sounds like it's a.
I already have contractors. I have people that are gonna give me wood. I have contractors saying they'll throw it together. So this might happen anyways,
Okay.
with no expense to the town.
Like
And then we'll
it.
see if, and then we'll see what they say.
I think it'd be a nice place to go over and eat your ice cream.
It would be.
Oh, it would be. Just saying. If you don't get run over.
Yeah.
You know, and that was what I, you know. that's what I-
No, I'm just kidding. But
Yeah.
they have infrared scans. They can do on the roof to see if anything's leaking.
Oh,
I mean, we'd
absolutely.
see it,
Yeah.
I'm sure, but.
Yeah.
But we really gotta solidify this because
Yeah.
the end of the year is
Yeah, cause that
coming.
money
And
has, and you gotta have a.
It's actually been solidified because you guys all voted on it.
Yeah. we
It's
did
already in a
on the
motion.
last meeting.
It's already allocated somewhere.
It's
That's
allocated,
done,
but there has to
unless
be a
you
written,
change something.
but there has to be a written
Some
contract.
kind of legal contract.
There
Correct.
has to be a written contract where everybody's
Correct,
going.
correct. But as far as the board's concerned, it's been
Yeah.
allocated.
Yeah, but we need the
So you
written
do-
contract.
Just wanna run
We
that
gotta have a
by.
contract.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's not a problem.
All right.
Perfect.
Anything else? We're gonna make a motion to move this to 10.
Do
Yeah, I
you
think
think you
we're-
have what you need?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's
Move it.
anything else.
All right, I'll make a motion that we move the budget from tentative to preliminary.
I'll incorporate these changes and I'll get a copy to Nikki tomorrow morning.
And
I'll second it.
All right.
And you all, obviously.
All in favor? Opposed? She carried.
Perfect.
All right. So
All right.
next, we need to set date for public hearing.
I make a motion, I'll make a motion, we set the date for the
Okay.
public hearing on the preliminary budget and the tax cap for November 6th at 4:30. Because the latest we can do it is the 7th, and that's court night. And the 5th is election night, so that's pretty much the only day we're gonna be able to get in here. And he has a commitment that night, I think you have
I
a
do.
commitment that night as
Can we
well.
do it a little
6:30.
And hang on, let me look here.
I can do earlier.
Sixth
No,
on
we're-
the
we're-
6th
we're looking-
earlier,
Yeah, we're at 4:30 right now.
4:30, yeah.
That was my motion,
What time you wanna
4:30, we discussed it.
3:30 or 4?
All right,
3:30 would be better.
8:30?
I can do 3:30.
I have to
Can you
take
do
off
earlier?
I think
from-
we'll-
I'll just take off from work.
Okay,
So
so
what time are we doing?
3:30 on the
Now
6th.
you understand, this is a public hearing,
I
right?
understand that.
All right, so 3:30,
That's tax cap and public. hearing
tax
budget.
cap and public preliminary budget hearing. All right, well, I made a motion.
So it's 3:30 now?
Who's gonna second?
I'll second the motion.
Favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried.
Should we do it? I mean, if you want, do you want to discuss it? If
No.
it's tricky, we can.
You gotta do what's best
For
where
everybody.
we can all be
Yeah,
there.
it's just, all right.
I think it's gonna be tough for a public hearing for people to get here at 3:30, that's all. All right.
Unfortunately,
Okay. So we need to make sure we get
And that's in the
required
text.
information to the people it needs to go to. It's got the Nikki, we gotta get the legal notices out.
Nikki and Veronica.
Nick, legal notices gotta get out.
Here, post office,
It's legal posting, post standard,
post stand, right.
okay? They gotta be done tomorrow. Okay. That's
Okay.
all I've got. Oh, were you gonna talk about the truck tonight or?
Truck.
the-
Oh,
You
the
need to
truck.
talk about
The
that?
twofer?
Yeah, so the $200,000 we talked about, that's included in the highway budget as a contribution to a highway reserve. So that will be used towards the purchase of
It
this.
was all, we already had, it's incorporated in the budget.
Yes, it's already-
Huge hats off to our town
Okay, did
highway
Did you have a-
superintendent who
yeah,
joined forces with the local town, Fabius, to
Yep.
get us, what, $25,000
we found out
discount?
we could do that, right? We can
$26,000
combine with
discount?
Absolutely. We'll just issue separate
That's-
POs or letters.
As I said to you today, that's awesome, man. Thanks for doing that. That's a lot of money.
That's all
That's a
right.
lot of money. Nice
Not a
work.
problem.
Yeah, that's awesome.
No,
Nice
we
work.
work together. Dennis is a good guy to work with, so.
I like
And then
that.
salesman's.
So is this vehicle one you wanted?
It's one that we need to replace. This one's be 10 years old and 25, so
Yeah.
When will it come? 26?
yeah, probably late 26.
Oh, okay, so
It'll be
then it's
a year and a
exactly
half.
what you were saying.
But again,
Yeah.
that's just so we can make sure we get another combustion engine vehicle
Correct,
because
correct.
they're pushing
They're
EV.
pushing the electric ones, but unfortunately, nobody makes a electric snowplow yet.
There's a mandate
But
in
we
2
have-
years
but
and
we
nobody
have-
makes the damn thing.
Yeah, we have to phase them out, but nobody makes one.
You don't want to pay us on top.
Yeah.
That's gonna be fun when you get lots of those.
Yeah. Speaking of which, our Mac should be coming here in the next week or two. And everything I heard down to New York State Highway Association training, they say keep your old ones. So I did have one that I was gonna sell. I think we're gonna keep it for a while.
We're finding
Well-
that out with our buses too.
Yep,
We were training them in right away. Now we're gonna hold on to a
yeah,
couple.
hold on to
Yeah.
them. So
What
you
was
got
the
spares.
reason?
It's like an EV mandate, right?
Well, it's not just that, but some of the new equipment, there's all kinds of quirks and bugs.
Yeah.
And our new buses have been in the shop more than they've been on the road this year, so.
So we have two big things coming out that we have to pay for this year, right?
We have the Mac.
Yeah.
We have two 6500s coming, medium duty trucks.
And the equipment for that plow truck too, right? We have budgeted, I think, 215 grand.
Yes.
Okay,
Fun. Just give me a heads up so we make sure we have the money to.
Yep. You got it.
what do you guys think?
That's everything I had.
Okay. So anybody want to make a,
Make a motion to adjourn.
No?
Second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
So now we're on stage 30.
So the 6th, 4:30, got it.
4:30.
3:30, geez.